take some time to listen to this music and relax your mind, relax your conscious mind, because I need to talk to your subconscious mind right now. So just take a moment to relax. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. One more. It's something I need for us to understand. We need to realize that we are already abundant. It's so important to get this concept, because if we don't realize that we are already abundant, then we'll go through life chasing something that we already are. We'll go through life trying to get something that we already have. But I think the problem, I know the problem with us today is that so many of us are pursuing things that we don't love, that we're not passionate about. And I believe, as the saying goes, you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree. I believe we're judging ourselves on are we successful or not. And I believe most of us are not even doing what we're supposed to be doing. So if you think about it, everything on earth, everything in the universe is in abundance. All the way from the stars to the grass to the trees. I mean, you could think about it. It's literally millions and millions in abundance of even roaches. One of the nastiest things I hate. Even roaches are abundant. So what could possibly make us think that we weren't built the same way? I believe the problem is we are operating outside of where we were designed to operate. Case in point, trees. Trees are abundant, but trees are doing what they were meant to do. A tree was meant to be a tree. It was meant to provide oxygen and all kind of stuff, and that's what it does. A fish was designed to be a fish, to swim in the water. But you don't see a fish running around trying to survive outside the water. It's operating in what it was designed to do. And everything in the universe that was ever created in abundance is operating in what it was meant to do. If you take a tree and snatch it out the ground, it's gonna die. Now, it may get some other use out of it, like money and all this, but the original reason for its purpose is no longer valid. So what happens to us? If you snatch us out of where we're supposed to be, what do you think happens? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not operating in where you're supposed to be operating, what's going to happen? You're going to dry up and die. The same way the tree dies, the same way the fish dies, and anything else that you take out of its element. Grass, if you dig it up, it dies. I just think it's super important to realize that we have to go after our passions, because our passion is going to create our provision. And I believe every day that you go do something that you hate. Every day you wake up and you go do something that you dislike, it releases negative enzymes in your body that create disease and they kill you. The body was never meant to have all these negative enzymes pouring in it every single day, every single day. See, when you do things you hate, when you do things you're not passionate about, it releases the enzymes of the fight or flight reflex. Now that reflex is meant to get you out of trouble, but it was never meant for us to live under 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our bodies are continuously releasing those enzymes of emotion and stress, and those things were designed to get you out of danger. If a lion comes, then a deer or a gazelle, that fight or flight kicks in to give it the ability to leave and get away if it can. But 20 minutes later, it goes back to grazing. Everything's good. The problem with us is that we don't go back to grazing, that we stay in this fight or flight situation constantly, over and over, day in and day out. And our bodies were never meant to tolerate that kind of negative enzymes constantly. And it creates disease. And we end up dying. We weren't meant to struggle. You weren't meant to struggle. You were meant to be great. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it deep in your stomach that you just know you were meant to be great? That's because you were. We were. Listen, the very fact that we were born is 1 out of every 400 trillion. So even to get on this earth, you had to be a bad mama jamma, man. Think about that. 1 in every 400 trillion made it through. And if you listening to this, you were one of those 400 trillion. You made it out of 400 other trillion tries. That means you were meant to be great. You were already great just to get here. So I'm saying, dig down inside, dust off the dreams, your passions, and go do them. It's books, movies, clothing lines, stores, grocery stores, restaurants, food trucks. It's all kind of things that's in us, but we not letting them go. And one of my mentors said, if you don't get the things that God gave you out of you and into the world, they will begin to rot on the inside of you and draw flies. They'll begin to rot and draw flies. And you may look good on the outside, but on the inside, you'll be dying for not getting those things out of you and into the world. It's time to do it. There's no other reasons. There's no other excuses. If you thought of it, it was meant for you to do it. And it was absolutely meant for it to work, or you never would have thought of it. The universe, God, only gives you things that'll work if you do it. Woo. Hey, I love y'all. And I'm talking to myself first. And we gotta quit allowing fear to hold us back. And we keep asking God and the universe to send us stuff, and they saying, look, I've already given it to you. I've given you 50 million ideas and you haven't executed on one of them. Don't ask me for nothing else unless you do what I told you. Don't be fearful and execute.